how about we start adding some follow through to our existing animation? And we'll start by animating the follow through to our end segment here. The character is tired, hunched over the handle. And we'll begin with our center of gravity. We'll go into our perspective and graph view as well. Okay, so once here, once the character comes over the handle, let's on frame 200 have him rotate slightly up for the follow through there, and also translate him up slightly too. Okay, and we could check out our keys that we're setting. Alright, great. So let's see how this looks. We hit play. Alright, great. So that's looking pretty good. Hit play again and check it out. Alright, so now we've got our pretty much the follow through for our center of gravity. But what we're also going to do is have the character rise up first, okay, a little bit higher, and then come down, okay, for his rest. So on frame 177, let's have him come up in the Y like that, and then he comes down afterwards. So here's what we get when we hit play. Great, that's looking pretty good. And we could even adjust the tangency here on 177, selecting the right half of the, or the left half of the key, bringing it up a little bit more, so he rises a little bit higher and then comes down. So when we hit play, here's what we get. Alright, that's looking better. Okay, so now we can go ahead and move on. We're not quite done yet with the center of gravity. What we need to do is focus on the rotate X. We're going to speed up the time at which the character actually hunches over. We're going to wait till we animate the chest control, because what's going to happen is that as the character's coming up, the chest, we're going to rotate back for some follow through, and then once the character hunches over, the chest is going to pretty much fall down. So we're going to rotate it down, and then we're going to speed up the time in which the actual upper body hunches over, because of the fact that the chest is going to fall, okay, giving us a better feeling of weight here. So our next step, let's just go ahead and animate the back. So on frame 200, we'll again go ahead and rotate the back up just very slightly to finish the back off there, the follow through for the back there. So when we hit play, alright, great. So that's looking pretty good. We'll check it out again. Alright, cool. So let's go ahead and move on to the chest now. And for the chest, we'll focus on the rotate X, frame the region, and as the character is moving up, again we're going to have his chest move back for the follow through there as the character's moving forward. And then right here where he hunches, let's actually take this key on frame 190 and move it down some. So we'll shift select it and move it down to about 193. So we get a little bit delay there. So watch what we get now when we hit play. Excellent. So that's looking better. We hit play. Great. And then we could have it come up very slightly on frame 200. Okay. It's really slight like that. Alright, let's see how this looks when we hit play. Alright, that's looking pretty good. And maybe we could have him come up a little bit less on frame 200. So we'll select that key and move it up some to lessen the time at which he's coming up. Let's see how that looks when we hit play. Alright, that's looking pretty good. Alright, great. So now that we have the chest in there and we fix the timing at which that the chest is hunching over here, what we'll do now is adjust the center of gravity control like what we discussed before. So let's go to the rotate X of the center of gravity, and here we're also going to use weighted tangency to create that effect rather than again cluttering our F curve with keys, unnecessary keys. So we don't even, when applying weighted tangency, we don't even need to have our F curve selected, but it will be applied to whatever channel we have selected. So right now we have the rotate X selected, and if we go ahead and go to weighted tangency again from curves, right mouse button clicking, go to curves, and then again our last selection, weighted tangency. Okay, so now our keys have weighted tangency, and then we'll go ahead and give this key here on frame a 162 free tangent weight, and then we'll break our tangency, and we just want to move this right half. So let's get a better view in here. And basically what we want to do is speed up the time in which he hunches over. So we're going to slow down this time in which he's coming up, and then thus that's going to speed up the time when he does again hunch over the handle. So let's select this right half and hold shift and middle mouse button click and drag a little bit to the right. So now watch what that does when we go ahead and even hide our curves and hit play. Notice, alright, the timing is much better there as the character rises. Excellent. So that's looking pretty good. And with that done, let's go ahead and check out the head. Let's go ahead and animate it, starting from the neck. Go to our perspective and graph view. And for the neck, all we really need to do is on frame 190. Let's go ahead and take this key and move it down about one frame, just a one frame delay. Okay, and then on 200, we'll rotate the neck slightly up, very slightly up for the follow through there. Alright, so there we go. And now for the head, let's select that and work on it. What we want to do here is, remember how we animated the chest moving back, okay, for the follow through as the upper body from the COG is moving forward. So we'll just add a little bit of delay on the head. We could go to about frame 182, go to the rotate X and just rotate the head up here. And then we'll delay this key on frame 190. Let's move it down to about 192. So the head will come down there. And we could even have it rotate a little bit further down. So on 192, let's rotate it down a little bit more to exaggerate that pose. So there's our follow through if we hit play. Alright, great. And then what we'll do is on about frame 197 for the follow through here, as the head or as the body's coming up, we're actually gonna have the head rotate down a little bit more. So on 197, let's rotate the head down some here. Alright, to fix that up, and then on frame 200 we'll have it rotate very slightly up, very slightly, probably not even this much. Let's take this key on frame 200 and move it up some to where it's more like that. Excellent, and we'll hit play to check it out. Awesome. And we can even adjust the tangency here to fix this flow on frame 192. So we'll just bring it up just a little bit more to again fix the flow. And with these changes made, we'll hide our curves and just render off a play blast checking out our fixes. So how about we render from about this view here. Here it is. Alright, so our follow through is looking really nice at the end of the animation, but we could do even one more thing to basically wrap up this lesson. And what we can do is animate the shoulders, okay, moving back down for the follow through there, because right now they're just staying still even though the character is rising up here. So what we'll do is close out this play blast and just animate just that. Oh, I'm going to escape that. Excellently click the play blast button. There we go. We want to bring back our control curves, and we'll select the shoulder, and on frame 200, since the body is rising here, what we're going to do is have the shoulders drop slightly, ever so slightly. Okay, so we'll go ahead and fix up this left shoulder now on frame 200, dropping that a little bit too. So now what we get is some nice motion from the shoulders in our follow through. Great. So we can render off another play blast checking out our fix now to make sure everything is moving the way we want it to. How about from this angle here? Here it is. Alright, so this side looks good. How about the left side. Let's bring more of our attention to that side so we don't stay only to one side when rendering a play blast off. So we could render one off from this angle. Here it is. Alright, great. So here again we see an example of how much more realism we can add by just utilizing the principle of follow-through. Okay, and we do have a little bit of popping in our character's elbows, but we're going to fix that up. And that finishes up this lesson right now. And in the next lesson, we'll just continue working on the follow-through and the heavy pull.